A woman is very excited about the surprise her parents were making for her. She then says that she can't wait to see what her parents have prepared for her, and then her parents say that she would soon find out. They then stop covering the woman's eyes, and she is startled by what she sees. Her father says that was her fiancé, and then the man tells the lawyer to start. The lawyer starts talking later. The woman tells them to go away. She then asks her parents to explain what was going on there, and then her father says that that was her fiancé. The woman says her parents were crazy, and then the woman says she didn't want to marry that person. The woman's mother says that she had just turned 18 and that she couldn't decide what she was going to do or not do. She said she knew what was best for her daughter. Her father says that she would be very happy next to that man, but the woman says that she didn't even know that person. Her mother said that she would have plenty of time to get to know the man better, and then the woman asks how much money the man had. The man then says that he couldn't measure the amount he had, but that he could buy her a lot of things. She then says that it wouldn't impress her, and her mother tells her to stop it. The man then says that she was the type of woman he liked, the type of woman who was unimpressed by little things. They then toast to the woman's marriage, and at that moment, a waiter arrives and asks if she would like to order something. The woman then says that she would like a glass of wine, and then the waiter says he would get it. The man says he wouldn't go through life watching his wife drink alcohol. The man says he didn't want the mother of his children to be a person who drinks alcohol, and so he asks the waiter to get the woman a glass of water. She then says that she would be leaving, but her father goes after her. He then says that it had taken a long time to get that man to marry his daughter. He then says that that man had promised him a lot of money, and that without the man's money, he would end up being arrested. He asks if his daughter wanted him arrested and then leaves. The woman says that now she understood what was going on and says that if she didn't marry the man, her father would be arrested. When the woman was returning to the table, the waiter ends up dropping the glass on her. Seeing that, the man is furious and says he was a good-for-nothing. The waiter then apologizes to the woman and tells her she could clean up. She then said she was going to clean herself up, whereupon the waiter apologized to the man. As she was going to the bathroom, the waiter chased after her and said he wouldn't let her do that. She then asks what he was talking about, and he says it was a mistake. She says she was grateful for the waiter's help, and then they shake hands. The waiter then says that if she wanted to, she could go out the back door, but she says that she couldn't do that. She says that she should marry that man in order to save her father's life. She then says that if she didn't marry that man, his father would end up being arrested. The waiter then says that he understood what was going on there and says that he understood why the woman was marrying that man. He says he understood the woman's motive, but that it was a mistake and that she shouldn't do it. The woman then says that she really didn't want to marry that man, but if she didn't marry him, her father would end up in prison. The waiter then asks if she was really going to do that and marry that man. She says she didn't have any other option, and then the waiter says he had a gift for the woman. He then says that he would give freedom to the woman so that she could choose who she would marry and when she would do it. He then asks the woman if she trusted him, and then they leave. Later, they arrive at the waiter's house, and then they go inside. He then says that he knew that the woman was used to a much better house than his, but that she could feel comfortable there. He then says that now she could rest and think better about what she was going to do. The woman then says she is grateful and says he was a gentleman. The waiter says that she was a very lying person. She laughs and says she wasn't lying about that. The waiter then asks her if she would like something to eat, and then she says that she was very hungry. He then says that he would prepare something for the woman to eat, and then she says that she could help the waiter prepare the food, but he says that it was not necessary and that he would do it himself. She then asks him what he was going to cook, and he says he would still find out. She then sits on the couch and watches the waiter as he cooks. The woman then starts to think about how well things were going for her and that she could finally think about what she was going to do. She says that she wouldn't be thinking about anything at that moment, but that soon everything ended up changing. Some time passes, and the woman is sitting on a park bench when the waiter arrives with the woman's mother. The woman asks what her mother was doing there, and she says she needed her daughter to come home. She said that she was there to take her daughter back, but the woman says that she would not do that, as she was now very happy. She says that her father would have to pay for what he had done, and then her mother says that the truth was that her father was very sick. She said that she needed her daughter to come back, because that way they would be able to pay for the treatment that her father so badly needed to survive. The woman is surprised by that and asks about the family businesses, but her mother says that all of them had failed. She then says that she needed her daughter to marry a man, for he would help them in that. The woman tries to argue further. Her mother tells her to stop being selfish. She then says that her daughter should go visit her father while he still has time, and that she was being very selfish, having an affair with that waiter. She then says that her daughter should think about what she was going to do, and then leaves. The woman then apologizes to the waiter and says that she would unfortunately have to go back to her house. The waiter says he understood why the woman was leaving, and so she gets up and leaves. She then goes to her mother, and her mother says that her father was just over there. The woman goes to her father and asks if she could give her father one last hug, but he says he didn't deserve it. The woman's father then apologizes to his daughter and says that he should not have offered his daughter as a commodity. He then starts coughing, and the woman says she didn't know her father was so sick. She says that now she knew what she needed to do, but her dad said she wasn't going to do it. He says his daughter shouldn't do something she regrets. Some time passes, and another woman was saying that now that they were together, they were there to celebrate the union of that couple. The woman then starts to say that she was going to marry the man, but at that moment, the waiter arrives. The man then asks what the waiter was doing there, and then he says he was just there to see the moment when he would lose the woman forever. The woman's father then says that he would not lose his daughter, as he would not let his daughter make a mistake as big as that because of him. She tries to say something to her father, but her father says that she wouldn't do that, because he wouldn't let her make a mistake on his behalf. He said that he ended up being deceived by the man, but that he would not let his daughter make such a mistake. He says it was his fault that they were broke, and that he wouldn't let his daughter do that. The man then proceeds to clap for the woman's father's speech, but he says she was going to marry him anyway. The woman then says that she should marry the man or her father would be arrested, but her father says that he deserved to be arrested as he had offered his daughter as a commodity. He then said that he would do everything for his daughter to marry whomever she wanted. The man then says that he wouldn't leave things that way, and that they would all regret it, and leaves. The waiter goes up to the woman and tells her that he wasn't expecting things to end that way, but that he wanted to marry her. The woman then said that she accepted to marry him, and then they embraced.